What if I told you there's this tiny, invisible heartbeat inside almost every single piece of technology you use every day? Well, we're going to take a look inside the 2025 annual report for a company called SiTime, the company that's literally building this silicon heartbeat for everything from your phone to the most powerful AI data centers on the planet.
Just imagine this for a second. Your self-driving car suddenly glitches on the highway, or the AI you rely on just goes offline. Now, you'd probably think it's a software bug, right? But what if the real culprit was something microscopic, a single failing timing component? That's the exact problem SiTime is here to solve.
You see, every piece of modern electronics needs this steady, totally reliable pulse to function. It's called precision timing, and it's like the invisible conductor for trillions of operations happening every single second. And SiTime, they aren't just another player in this game, they are pioneering the tech that's defining it.
So, let's talk about the silicon revolution. You might be asking, why do we even need a new heartbeat? Well, it's because the technology we've been using for over 50 years is starting to crack under the pressure of today's tech.
The solution? It's called MEMS technology. The best way to think about it is this. Imagine taking the old, clunky mechanical way of keeping time and shrinking it way, way down, building it right onto a silicon wafer, just like a computer chip. This isn't just a small upgrade. It's a complete reinvention of timing itself.
And the difference is just, it's night and day. On one hand, you've got legacy quartz. It's this fragile little crystal, super sensitive to heat and vibration, tech that hasn't really changed in decades. And on the other hand, you've got SiTime's silicon MEMS, durable, microscopic, and built to thrive in the chaos of modern technology. I mean, just look at this performance gap. In places with heavy vibration, think about a moving car or a humming data center, SiTime's MEMS are up to 50 times more resilient than quartz. That is not a small improvement. That is a complete game changer. Now, a technological leap like that isn't just cool from an engineering perspective, it's fueling some absolutely explosive financial growth. So let's get into the numbers. 61%. Let that sink in for a second. That's their revenue growth in just 1 year. That right there is a huge signal that a major market shift is happening, and it's being driven by some serious demand. And here's exactly where that growth is coming from. Revenue shot up from about $203 million to almost $327 million. And it's all being fueled by the boom in AI and data centers. You know, the places where performance and reliability are absolutely non-negotiable. And it's not just that top-line growth either. The company's financial health looks rock solid. Gross margins are up, which proves they have real pricing power. Their operating cash flow is now positive, and get this, they're sitting on a war chest of over $800 million. That is some serious firepower for whatever they want to do next. Which brings us right to their future strategy. SiTime isn't just content to ride the AI wave. No, they're actively de-risking their business and making some really bold moves to dominate the entire timing market. You know, a key risk for any supplier is relying too much on one big customer. But check this out. Even as their total revenue exploded, their dependence on their largest customer, Apple, actually dropped from 22% down to 17%. That tells you their diversification strategy is absolutely working. And they're diversifying into some of the toughest markets out there. We're talking automotive, where reliability is literally a matter of safety. Aerospace and defense, where these components have to survive extreme conditions. And of course, the backbone of our connected world, 5G and industrial automation. But their boldest move yet is a massive acquisition they just announced. And this isn't just about getting bigger. No, this is about a total transformation, from being a simple component supplier to becoming a complete platform provider that can own the entire timing ecosystem. The price tag? A staggering $1.5 billion in cash, plus stock, to acquire the timing business from electronics giant Renesas. Now, a deal this big signals one thing and one thing only. They plan to reshape the entire market. So here's their strategy in 3 pretty simple steps. First, you acquire all the critical components of the clock tree from Renesas. Second, you use those pieces to offer customers a single integrated system, not just a box of parts. And the end game? To become the one-stop shop, the undisputed platform leader for precision timing. You know, this quote from an industry analysis really just says it all. The timing market's silicon replacing quartz trend is irreversible. And SiTime didn't just spot this trend, they are the ones driving it. So as our world becomes more automated, more connected, and more intelligent, the need for a perfectly steady, incredibly resilient heartbeat only grows. The question isn't just about whether SiTime will succeed, but whether it has already become the essential silicon pulse of our AI-powered future.